Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm a massive movie and music collector with a massive collection. Today I thought it would be fun to go through all of the movies that I watched in January. This year I've tried to set a goal to watch a movie a day, which I used to do like for many years and ended up watching like more than one a day. But in the last couple of years I've kind of fallen off that and I'm trying to at least get in a movie a day, whether or not I miss a day and then watch like 3 in one day and make up for it. Like, I just want to watch a lot of movies this year. That said, I have written out all the movies that I've watched in January and I've marked whether I've seen them before or whether I watched them in the cinema. And yeah, I thought it'd be fun to go through the list. With me, I don't rate movies on like Letterboxd and things like that. I prefer to leave a like if I enjoyed the movie and 5 stars if I loved the movie. Whether or not it's technically worth 5 stars, I don't really like to rate things. The reason being, and the reason why I won't talk badly about movies as well, is because I think that if you can find like one good thing in a movie that's technically a bad one, I think that that's important for you, then I think that's the main takeaway. And whether it's you've watched it for an actor or for a director and maybe the story's not the best or the acting's not the best, like there's usually at least one thing in a movie that can maybe redeem it in your eyes. And whether something's 5 stars or not, I don't really care anymore. I also think it's such a miracle to get movies made, and we're very lucky that literally whether I want to watch like one of the 1,000 things on my shelf, or if you want to go to the cinema and see something, or you're forever building on your movie experience. And so to rank in a way that's like judging, art is art, and if you enjoyed it, then that's the main thing. We've said all that, we can go back to my list. So the first movie that I watched this year was a rewatch, which would be, I don't know, maybe my 100,000th rewatch of this specific movie. And I started watching it pretty much right on midnight of the new year. And that movie is Purple Rain, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of my comfort movies. It's a movie that I used to watch every night before bed for a long time. Prince is pretty much my favorite person to ever exist. I am a massive Prince fan, and saying that doesn't even encapsulate how much Prince and his music means to me. But Purple Rain, if you're going to start the new year, you might as well start it with the opening scene of Purple Rain, which is Let's Go Crazy. And it's one of my favorite openings to a movie ever. I'm going to stop yapping about Purple Rain and Prince because I can do 24 hours if you let me keep going. So yeah, started off the year great with Purple Rain. The second movie I watched this year was The Fall Guy, which I think was like underrated last year. I think that this movie was hilarious. I love seeing 2 actors exhibit their star power and make me laugh, and in an action comedy. And when I first saw this, I saw it in the cinema in 4DX, which if you don't know, that's where like the chairs move and water splashes at you and all of this stuff. And that was so much fun. And yeah, so watching it at home as well was heaps of fun. And yeah, I'm so glad this movie exists. I think it's underrated from last year. Third movie that I watched this year, as indicated here, was Nosferatu, which I've marked as watched in cinema and never seen before. I very much enjoyed that movie, and I'd be keen to add it to my collection and rewatch it when it comes out. 4, we have one of my favorites, which is Elvis. This is the steelbook and this comes off. When Elvis was in the cinema, I saw it 5 times and I love it. Since I've owned this, I've seen it many more times, and I've got the soundtrack and everything in between. And I love Elvis, and I loved that time when Elvis came out. That was so exciting. Number 5, we have The Graduate, which is one of the all-time classics, one of my favorite endings of a movie ever. It felt very fitting for me to be watching The Graduate this summer. There was something about that atmosphere of the movie that was really resonating with me, and I too find myself floating around pools and questioning everything. I love this movie and I love this soundtrack. I need this soundtrack, and yeah, if you have not seen this, you should watch it. This was a new watch for me, number 6, which is Paris, Texas, and it was a long-awaited watch. For years I was trying to get this movie, and for some reason it was so hard to find. It was like super rare, and then this re-release came out and I finally got to watch Paris, Texas, and I loved Paris, Texas. Number 7, as indicated here, is Better Man, which I saw in the cinema. This was my second time seeing Better Man in the cinema, and wow, Better Man is an amazing movie. I do need the soundtrack. I was very lucky because on like the 3rd of January, Robbie Williams was in Melbourne and he did a free concert and in the city, and so I went and I got to hear the songs from the movie pretty much, and that was really fun because the movie's shot where I'm from, and it was so cool to see movie promotion in that way, because unfortunately Melbourne doesn't really get a lot of like movie promotion where like premieres and stuff. Like a lot of that happens in Sydney if it happens, and so it was really cool to be a part of movie promotion. I will say I think Better Man is one of my favorite movies to come out of last year, and for people who haven't seen it, should give it a go because it's one of the better music biopics I've seen in a long time. Number 8, we have 4 Rooms, which is like one movie but split into 4, and each segment is directed by a different director, and Quentin Tarantino is in this and directs a segment, which is fun. Pretty much it's like Tim Roth stars in it. And then we have people like Madonna show up, and Lily Taylor and Marissa Tomei, and like look at this list, is crazy. Antonio Banderas. Yeah, it's a very interesting movie, and it's set on New Year's Eve. So next year, if you want a New Year's Eve movie to watch, maybe try this one. Number 9, we have Gladiator 2, which I saw in a big group with members of my family. This time that I watched Gladiator 2, I'd seen it before once, again in 4DX, which was super fun. Nearly got flung out of my chair again. I really enjoyed Gladiator 2, and I enjoy that star power, and I enjoy ancient times and stories, and so I enjoy that epic sort of movie, and I think Gladiator 2 was like filling that void that like sometimes is missing for me, with like epic stories set in ancient times. Number 10, we have Wild Things, which is a erotic thriller from the 90s. I very much enjoyed this movie, and yeah, it's lots of fun, and a million plot twists later we have this plot, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Number 11, we have Wicked, which this time seeing Wicked was my 4th time seeing Wicked, and once again I loved it. I can't wait for Wicked Part 2. Yeah, I love Wicked. I've spoken too much about Wicked in the past. Number 12 was a rewatch that I've seen multiple times, but it was calling to me. I had seen this movie a few times, and then last year I went to Italy and I read the book in Italy, and now I have a whole other level of appreciation for the book and the movie. And after like pretty much like living in Italy for a bit and being in that lifestyle, when I watch these characters like just live in a house and be in the Italian lifestyle of like a small town, which I was doing too, it just makes me feel really calm and makes me really miss Italy, and I will always love this movie. Next, which is number 13, I finished watching the Robbie Williams documentary that's on Netflix, and that's really cool and really interesting. Again, if you've watched Better Man, or if you haven't watched Better Man, you should watch Better Man, and then you should watch that if you want. Then you get more information, and I always love music documentaries, and I always love learning more, and I love seeing old footage and photos and being immersed and learning new things and hearing people's stories. And if you want to learn more about Robbie Williams, you should watch that one. Number 14 is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I watched it at a cinema up on the roof. So you get like a headset and they play the movie and you can put it as loud as you want. And we were in the night air and it was wonderful. And for a long time, La La Land, I used to just pretty much weep through it. The first time I ever watched La La Land and like heard Another Day of Sun, I cried. I was in the cinema and I was like, whoa. And then for a while, La La Land stressed me out because it made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. And then now it makes me feel nostalgic and it makes me feel happy and it makes me feel hopeful. And the ending is perfect, objectively. And I know sometimes people like to fight about the ending, and a lot of people have said to me, I don't like the ending's bad. No, the ending is perfect. This movie is so special, and I could talk about La La Land for too long as well. Number 15 was a new watch for me after owning this DVD for maybe 2 years, and that's She's All That. This movie can go in the category of movies I've watched to hear a specific song, and that song is Kiss Me. I have seen that scene of the movie, but I didn't have like full context. And the amount of times that I've bought a movie or watched a movie because I know a certain song is going to be in it is probably like the most insane amount. I could make a whole video on that. It's crazy. I always pretty much enjoy a 90s rom-com. This is like a teen rom-com, and I enjoy prom scene, and I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't get that, but I enjoy the comfiness that comes with 90s teen movies and 80s teen movies, pretty much any teen movies like pre-2010. We're back with the list. Number 16 was seen in the cinema, and it was a first time watch, and it was A Complete Unknown, which I loved, and I was so happy that when I watched it I was so focused and locked in, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Music movies in general are my favorite type of movies because no matter what, they're always going to have like pace, whether it's like a 10-minute scene because that goes like this because there's like a song or something. But I know not everything is always factual, but I enjoy the impact that biopics have, where like people then go out and buy the album or people get introduced to an artist. And I love to watch an actor transform and fully delve into a role, and I think Timothée Chalamet and pretty much everyone else in that cast did amazing, and it's one that I'm keen to get and rewatch and get the soundtrack for. 17, 18 and 19 we have to do together because it's a trilogy, and they're the High School Musical movies, which I haven't watched one after the other or even at all in like 5 years, because the last time I did it, it really upset me, which was really odd. I've grown up with these movies. I've seen them over and over and over again. I could do them as a one-woman show if you want. And these songs are perfect. These movies are fantastic, and the comfort and the joy that they bring me still makes me very calm, nostalgic, and a bit sad, but like they're just so fun, and like you can't argue with fun. They're too good. Number 20 we have Challenges, which was one of my favorite movies of last year, one of my favorite scores of last year and of all time. And like, what can you say about this movie that hasn't already been said? It's really, 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 really good. This is also a great summer movie, and I'm in the middle of summer, so I'm trying to watch summer movies so that I feel connected. And yeah, I love this movie. Number 21 I saw in cinema, but it was again a rewatch. I did that a lot this month. That movie was Anora. I saw Anora at its first showing in Australia in October, I think it was, late October, and then it came out like Boxing Day. And yeah, I saw it again the other week, and I love it. It's a fantastic movie. I love Sean Baker's movies. I love Anora. Number 22 is Betty Blue, which I think is the English name of this movie. I don't know the French name. This movie was, wow. This was something that I'd been wanting to watch for a long time, and I bought it a couple months ago. I finally found it, like, out in the wild, and I really enjoyed this. It's really beautiful, it's really dark, it's French, and a very interesting movie, and I'm glad that I finally have it and got to watch it, because I do love French movies, and I think this is from 1986. The colours in this are stunning. If this movie was like, this movie is really cool. Number 23 is a movie that I'd been wanting to watch for literally years, and I've had for nearly 2 years, and decided the other night that it was time, and I loved it. I'm pretty sure I rated it 5 stars because I enjoyed it so much. This is Empire Records, and I Want to Be Liv Tyler, dead set. This movie is so fun. It's so 90s. It makes me very happy. And, you know, whenever like movies are set within like video stores or record stores, even if it's the worst movie of all time, I'm gonna watch it. And luckily I loved this movie so much. 24 and last on my list is Babygirl, which I enjoyed and I thought was really good. And I love Nicole Kidman. She's one of my favorite actresses, and she was amazing in it, and I'll watch anything she does. So I've written it out here. 24 movies were watched, 8 I watched in the cinema, and 10 I'd never seen before. That's pretty good. We'll see how we go for Feb. Thank you for watching this video, if you stuck around and listened to everything I had to say, and I hope to see you in the next one.